Good evening, viewers. This is BVI Channel 1, and we are on the program GGM Africa. Let us celebrate what is happening in Africa today. The liberation of yet another former French colony. As we had it today, everywhere busted into celebration among black race, not just Africans. Black race across the world is celebrating the true liberation of Africans from Western puppet. Talking about Western puppet, the man in question, talking about the ousted former president of Gabon, Bongo, whose family has held on to power for 55 years. 55 years. Now, I must tell you, as one of the updates, that he had come out begging for his puppeteers, his controllers, his masters to make noise for him. This is the video as we had it, and I want you to watch it. Don't forget to join this program. It's a live program where we interact with each other, where Africans come together to talk about their liberation and unite for this purpose. I'll be right back after this very video coming from Bongo.
I'm Bongo, Ondimba, President of Gabon, and I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence, and nothing happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you. Thank you.
This is still GGM Africa. You've heard it from Bongo, who is asking and praying to his masters to make a lot of noise for him. He said, according to him, he doesn't know what is happening out there. But let us bring it to him that a lot of noise is being made already in celebration of his removal from office. When I come back after watching this very one, we will discuss how to move forward, not just in Gabon, but throughout Africa. Bongo, hear the noise coming from your own people.
Peuple gabonais et garant de la protection des institutions avons décidé de défendre la paix en mettant fin au régime en place. À cet effet, les élections générales du 26 août 2023 ainsi que les résultats tronqués sont annulés. Les frontières sont fermées jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Toutes les institutions de la République sont dissoutes.
tout part de la démocratie. C'est un pas dans le sang. C'est un pas dans le sang.
We are still on GGM Africa, and it is my pleasure to tell you that what is happening in Gabon is being celebrated. Just like the former president Ali Bongo had asked and prayed that his puppeteers, his masters, should make a lot of noise for him, and that noise is being made and heard loud and clear across the universe, that Africans are waking up to take their country back. Back from oppression, back from the French manipulation and exploitation, and keeping the people in abject poverty. Now, let us think of this. Let us review some of these things. 55 years of a family, one family, holding the entire country to ransom. The people have had enough. It is almost peculiar in Africa to have political leaders try to extend and remain in government forever. And you hardly hear the West speak against people changing constitutions, imposing themselves against the will of the people to be their leaders. You hardly hear the West, especially when their interest is well protected, especially when their puppet is in power, dancing to their tune, especially when you have the government oppressing its people for the benefits of the West. You will never hear the West say anything about that. Just like what happened recently. What happened during the election that just happened in Gabon? The man forcefully extended the constitution to accommodate him to go for third term, after his father had stayed in government for 44 good years, and he came to power in 2019 September and had run for 8 years, and also ran and led the country for 13 good years put together, making it 55 years of a country. Even if it is your birthright, even if that family is the only family, especially when the people are passing through agony, misery, impoverishment in the midst of plenty. Go to Gabon. They have numerous, just like the rest of African continent, especially where these people are holding sway, have enormous mineral resources, yet the people are living in abject poverty. This is not just a coup. It's not a coup. It's a takeover of the country from the Western puppets. It is the people taking back their country after someone who even lost in the election. Come to think of it. You lost in the election. You superimpose yourself just like what we witnessed in Nigeria. Persons that do not meet the constitutional requirements, they impose themselves. And the French quickly said that the people should accept it as a free and fair election. You can imagine that. And that is us, what I am bringing to you. What is your take on this? You are free to call and tell us your opinion on this. We're also looking at the celebration of the people. It is massive. It is massive. That is to tell you that what happened in Gabon immediately after the announcement was made by the military, citing the election that was marred with manipulations, violence, and the rest of them. They annulled the election, took over the government, and announced that the president in question had been removed. See the celebration from the military hierarchies. You see all of these guys, they have been people who have been subjected into the same poverty, suffering. They are celebrating their freedom. You see the military, they are the ones that led this freedom march. Very young, you look at them, they are very young people. Very young people, many of them, I believe, they were born to see Ali Bongo family in power up to today. So this is a sign of relief, a freedom for them. That is why they are celebrating. Look at them. This is what we are talking about. This is the freedom that is happening. You see the people come out en masse to support their government, to support the people who have led their freedom from the grip of Ali Bongo family. This is a freedom from France and their grip on their former colonies. Let us quickly take a quick flash and a recap in case you're just joining us and just hearing the news on this very takeover and this celebration. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
Le peuple gabonais est garant de la protection des institutions, avons décidé de défendre la paix en mettant fin au régime en place. À cet effet, les élections générales du 26 août 2023 ainsi que les résultats tronqués sont annulés. Les frontières sont fermées jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Toutes les institutions de la République sont dissoutes.
Tout part de la démocratie. C'est un pas notre sang. C'est un pas notre sang.
We are still on GGM Africa, and we are talking about the Gabon coup. Some people will call it coup, but I don't prefer to call it coup. This is a freedom for African nation. To join this live interactive section, to air your opinion as we try to unite Africans for GGM. You know what GGM is all about? Good governance. And that is just all about what you're seeing happening across Africa. People are yearning for good governance. And good governance is all about bringing out the potential of the people and making their wealth work for them. In Africa, we live in abject poverty in the midst of plenty. The world living at large at our expense, using the stooges in power, using their puppets, who are mostly people of questionable character, people who have serious indictment hanging over their neck. They are the best candidates being used by the West to control Africa and to exploit it. But today, there is a wave of a revolution sweeping across Africa for the liberation of African people. If you want to be part of this program, you can call our lines 0810-4545533. And of course, if you're calling from outside Nigeria, you must add the international dialing code, which is +234 810-4545533. I'll repeat that. If you want to call to join the program on GGM Africa tonight, you can call +234 810-4545533. And I'll be bringing in our team of analysts who are always here to be part of the program, to join in this very discussion as we continue in this program. But you out there, you are free to join and make your contribution. You are free to join to air your opinion as to what you feel happening in Africa tonight on GGM Africa. We already have some of our analysts. Ndubisi and Enugu is right here with me. Andy Kechuku, if I'm not mistaken, is also here with us. Let us quickly take some of their reactions with respect to what happened in Africa. And also, we can take your commentaries from the comment section. So you keep dropping it on the comment section as we continue on this program tonight. Let me begin first with Ndubisi. Ndubisi, give us your reaction to the news coming from Gabon. What do you think is happening across Africa? Ndubisi, we are waiting. We can't hear you. Okay, Ndubisi, you might try to fix your audio device. Let's take from...
Hello?
Hello, Ndubisi.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you have the floor. Tell us, what's your reaction to what is happening in Africa, coming all the way from Gabon?
All right, Chinedu, this is expected. Over the years, Africans, indigenous people of Africa, have been held hostage by Western power bloc in collaboration with their local partners. You know, somebody just called me now a few weeks ago about the Gabon president. I mean, the one overthrown is an Igbo man. But I am not a tribal person. I represent good governance. Good governance goes across board. Whether you are Fulani man, whether you are Hausa man, whether you are Yoruba man, for a family to have been in power for 50-something years has a lot to say. about their character and about what they represent. Hello? Chinedu, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. The person that just came in, just hang on. Someone else is speaking. We can take your own um, opinion when the time comes. All right, continue, DBC.
So I said I represent an ambassador of good governance, meaning that wherever I see good governance, I go with it. What happened in Gabon is exactly what people have expected for over the years. And it will keep on going. It will keep on happening in other African countries. So many people said, like in Nigeria, we don't like military intervention. It's a democratic experience and experiment. But Chinedu, there is a civilian dictator everywhere in Africa. Even in Nigeria, you can see it the way our governors behave. Look at our governors in Southeastern region. I'm from Southeastern region, behaving above like demigods. If we criticize them, they feel offended. What is wrong with them? Are we really practicing democracy? Instead of promoting institutions of government, promoting the due process of law, equity, freedom, make people to be part of their governance. Governor said a few days ago or yesterday that Nigeria is poor. I was mad. A professor in ranking said that Nigeria is poor. It is our political elite. What stop politicians from gathering our best brain, our local brain? Just go to the village and get people together, and the problem is solved. Why can't we begin to solve our problem? Why do we have to import everything? Why can't we refine our oil, crude oil? Why do we have to depend on Russia or depend on foreign countries to get supporters? So, in as much as I don't encourage military intervention, I don't support it. And I post of good governance, I will not support it. But we will continue to say that the right thing be done. If our politicians masquerading as a Democrat refuse to do the right thing, that's my submission.
Thank you very much, NDBC, for that very submission. And we already have people who are dropping their submission on the comment section. We are going to go to the comment section very briefly, but let us quickly have the other opinions of other discussants who are already joining us via the line. Henry, if you are there, you can listen, you can hear me. Unmute yourself and make your submission so that we can go to hear other African people speaking on this matter. Want to see their reaction? You can also, when dropping your comment, you can also drop the country where you are commenting from and tell us the situation report in your own country. Henry, are you there?
Yeah, this is Peter.
Okay, Peter, go on, Peter.
All right, Peter from River State.
So, what's your reaction with what happened in Gabon today?
Like what Mr. Ndubisi has just said, I think what actually happened in Gabon is a welcome development. I will say that the military are actually trying to intervene in the place where the masses are weak to, come up with their struggle in order to take over its government on themselves through democracy. Because what actually happened in Niger was actually an eye-opening to so many other African countries. Military coup has been in Mali and some other African country, but The one that actually happened in Niger was an eye-opening to African countries. So they are seeing it like, I think maybe if the masses could not be able to, overthrow or maybe, vote out these people in power, the corrupt politicians, then let the military, help out to do so. So in Gabon today, what actually happened is a welcome development. I think it will continue to happen into other countries in Africa that are still under the siege of the European countries trying to, still keep us under slavery indirectly with our own leaders, because they are using our leaders to impoverish us and then to also colonize us. Now, this colony does not come in terms of slavery again, but it's not coming in terms of our resources, taking away our resources and impoverishing us. Where they are there smiling at their country and then making us to run over their countries for covering for daily bread. So I think it's a welcome development in what just happened in Gabon for the military to intervene in taking power back from a single family who has actually kept this country for years. I can say they were under siege for years, but thank God for the military intervention. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. What you said is absolutely correct, because looking at the celebration of people out there who are actually rejoicing for their own freedom, it is really a thing of joy for Gabonese people to say, yes, we are truly free. Yes, we are truly free from the oppression of France in our country. Having someone who lost election, imposing himself, who had come all the way after his father had taken over power and had continued to ensure that their grip on power remains unchanged. You see the celebration of the people. You see how happy the people are to welcome their new government. So when we look at some of these things happening, we don't just start saying, oh, it is a military coup, it's a military coup. No, it is not a military coup. It is a liberation of the people from the hands of those who had kept them down. All right, we have someone there that joined us immediately. Please give us your own remark, then we'll go to the comment section where we have other people who are commenting to get their opinions heard, because BBI Channel 1 on this platform, we are committed to giving the people a voice. And through GGM Africa, Good Governance Ministry, and as the presiding Archbishop, people think he's just a religious, ministry. No, it's a political ministry to awaken the consciousness of the people to engage in what we call ballot revolution. It was the ballot revolution that resulted to the loss of Ali Bongo, who had manipulated results just like we had it in Nigeria. And just about yesterday, or just before the coup, the person that won the election was still asking Ali Bongo to give up because he had lost the election. And it is very clear. That is what we've been preaching, and that is what GGM is all about. To trigger political revolution across Africa. Because I don't subscribe to chaos, breakdown of law and order, or war. Every time you hear war, it's always happening in Africa. And the manipulators and sponsors of this world, who are the NATOs, who are the world powers so-called, will now be bringing in their weapons to be test-run in African soil, and Africans killing Africa. I don't subscribe to that. What we've seen so far is really a bloodiless coup. In fact, a bloodiless takeover. I will stop calling it coup, because it is not. It's a takeover coming from the people. But before we take your call, Before we take your own opinion, my brother that just came in, let us quickly take a call from someone who is calling in from outside the studio. I think we just lost that. All right. Now, my brother, you can go on with your own submission. Tell us, what is your reaction when you had this news coming from Gabon? Unmute yourself so that we can hear you. I don't know the person's name. Your number ends with 4653. If you are there, you can unmute yourself and speak to the audience. I think he's not following. Okay, let us quickly move over before we come back to the analysts who are right here on the studios. Let us go back to the reaction of the people across the world to this news coming all the way from Gabon. Okay? Let us quickly take some of the reactions, and we appreciate it if you attach where you are joining or watching from, and because we are spreading our tentacles. GGM Africa is spreading its tentacles. This message is a revolution we are preaching. We are sowing it across Africa so that Africans will wake up, will join hands, will unite once and for all to free themselves from the hands of bad governance. If you believe that Africa is being subjected to impenury by bad, corrupt politicians who have imposed themselves against the will of the people, you have to identify with GGM Africa. We support you. We also appreciate those of you who are supporting us through Super Chat. That way, you help us sustain this message. We seriously appreciate you who are joining, and also through Super Chat, making your own contribution. We sincerely appreciate every one of you doing that. God bless you as you support this march for the emancipation and complete freedom of African people from the puppets of the West. We have Kojo Mensah. It sounds Ghanaian. Damn right to kick these sellouts. Yes, he is in agreement with this revolution. Make sure the people around you get this message. Let it be a beer parlor discussion. Let it be a classroom discussion. Make it your conversation in your worship centers, in the marketplaces, in your offices, in your schools. Let everyone wake up once and for all. God cannot bless Africa this much, and we'll continue living in abject poverty and having our people die and drown in Mediterranean Sea, trying to cross over to the same West who had made our lives miserable through our wicked, corrupt politicians. So, we have Nanji Osta. Thank you for joining. Prince Kelechi he's saying you never start to beg greedy people. That's reacting to Ali Bongo begging his masters to help him out to make noise. We are making the noise already. You can see the number of people out there making the noise. You can see thousands of people that trooped out to celebrate this victory. Okay, so we also want to thank Antino Richardson. Power to the people. Thank you for that super chat and your donation. God bless you. We also have Mercy Joyce. Said that the stupid president, is begging for help. Yes, he's begging for help. But I think he is helpless. He is seriously helpless because there is nothing France can do about this. The people have already spoken and they've taken their country back. That is it. You have James Joa. African readers prepare the recipe, so they have to serve with it. The Africa leaders prepared the recipe. So they have to be served with it. They cannot learn for their pockets. This is coming from Liberia. Thank you. All the way from Liberia. We appreciate you. Opera Innocent. Okay, watching from United Arab Emirates. We appreciate you. Mercy said when Nigeria will wake up from this bad government. He's asking when Nigeria will wake up. The people are awoken. They are only waiting because the men of the moment, the men whom the people cast their vote, the men who actually won with landslide during the Nigerian presidential election, the Labour Party presidential and vice presidential candidates, Mr. Peter Obi and Dati, had asked Nigerian people to hold their peace. They are looking up to the last resort, the judiciary, to do the needful, to disperse justice in accordance to the Nigerian constitution. Else, what you see happening in Gabon will happen in Nigeria. I can assure you that. You know, they have been delaying the results of that very petition or that tribunal, believing that the Niger has stirred up a lot of tension and had raised a lot of dust, that if they should release the already prepared judgment, which we all know what it could be, then all hell will let loose because of the tension in the air. So they are trying to let the dust to rest. They are trying to let the tension to calm down so that they can maybe through the night or through the newspapers will start hearing the results of the petition or the judgment as released. But when they are waiting for it to calm down, another volcano erupted from Gabon, and it will not cease until the end. We also appreciate you, Antonio Richardson, for your continuous donation and the super chat. Thank you for that. I said, thank you, coming all the way from America. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you, and we appreciate every one of you watching. Make sure that you get everyone in the know. This program, GGM Africa, we are going to unbundle the wickedness in Africa and unite African people for their liberation. This is Africa O'Clock, and GGM is leading the message of freedom for all Africans, for African freedom. Thank you very much, Antonio. God bless you. We have more people coming in, dropping their comments. We have a whole lot of people here in Zekwesili. Bernard, he said, how wish all this will turn to real revolution in the whole Africa. My brother, it is already a revolution. Just take a look at it. What do you think is happening here? You see young military officers celebrating. They are not celebrating because they have taken over power. They are celebrating because they have been freed from a long grip of France on them through their political leader. One family have held this country to ransom for a whole 55 years. What do you call this? It is called a revolution. What is happening in Africa is not coup. It's actually a revolution. Says the question. You have to know that. Then he said the entire Africa needs to be free from colonial master. That is what it's all about. Concerned individual said it's all about him and his family for 56 years holding his people to ransom. And you know the worst part of it? This man, Alibango, that is in question, the man is stricken with stroke. He's not even looking after himself. He's not even looking at, oh, I am no longer fit to be president. But at all costs, even if it is their last breath, they want to die in power. And perhaps have enough time to bring his own son to continue where he stopped, just like he did with his father. But time caught up with him. All right? Time caught up with him. All right, we are going further. We have more people coming in. Please help us share this video to everyone and spread this message. Because Africa must be free. We must be free. There is no two ways about it. Africa, not just Africa, black people around the world. Because you know what? Africa is the last hope of humanity. Understand that. Africa is the last hope of humanity. And we must take it back. It starts from political revolution. I'll keep speaking it. I'll keep preaching it until truly Africans are free from wicked, oppressive, corrupt political leaders. We can't take it any longer. So you have to join in this movement for the freedom of African people. So we have Godwin Deborah. Say that's what happens when our leaders don't think of us. All they do is to loop and share. That is just the standard procedure in Africa. They amass primitive wealth they don't need. Thank you, people, for dropping that comment. These are African voices across Africa and beyond, speaking and joining in this celebration happening in Gabon. So we must continue. Yaodu Walker say, Africa on the move. Oh yes, Africa is on the move. Not just on the move, but Africa is on the rise. Yes, that is what is happening. Okay? We have Kojo Mensah say, brilliant move by the army. They are there to defend the people, not the social black sellouts. Augustine Chioma said, you can see how the people are happy. I pray that God continues to use these people to liberate African countries. Don't look at the people. See the celebration. See this. Somebody will come out tomorrow and tell me, military this, military that. Nonsense. This is the government. The government of the people. By the people. And for the people. That is the actual definition of democracy. What we have so far in Nigeria and across Africa, most countries, is democracy. That's what we've been having. But thank God, look at the celebration. We join in celebrating this wonderful victory that had been recorded in West African countries, and many other African countries will follow suit. Okay, all right. I think I have to go back to the audience, but before then, I'll go back to the analysts. Let me finish with some of our, because we have some other super chats coming in from Contending for That Fear. Sorry, I couldn't call your name properly, but I really appreciate that your donation. Please keep bringing it on. We need it to sustain our operation. You know, these guys, they have kept Africa so much in the dark. They have kept us down, and we are reviving this revolution. We are fueling this revolution through this message, and it costs a lot. So your donation is highly appreciated and must be channeled to this cause. Identify with GGM Africa, because this is where you will get the truth undiluted. We don't look at anybody's face when we speak this truth, because it is this truth that will set Africans free. Vinci Perry said, Africa must unite. Yes, Africa must unite. Doris Osayo said, God bless Africa. God already blessed Africa from time immemorial. But we are caused by our own political leaders who had continued to take advantage of poverty and hunger, which they have imposed on the people, to use it continuously to keep themselves circulated in power. But this narrative is changing with double quick march. That is why the celebration is happening in Gabon. And I tell you, it's happening across the entire African continent. Let ECOWAS come with their army. I thought they said they want to invade Niger. They now have more African nations to invade, including itself, because time is ticking and running out for them. Oh yes, I can tell you that. We have a whole lot of people who are dropping their comments. Chika Eze, we recognize your presence. And those of you who are dropping your comments, keep sharing. Don't just drop comments. Keep sharing. Keep loving. Make more people to be part of this process. We will continue in this message. We thank you very much, Debbie Lovey. Yeah, sorry, I'm mentioning this name ridiculously, but permit me. We appreciate your donation coming in from Debbie Loving. Yeah, some of these names are really wonderful. Okay, let's proceed. Thank you for that donation. We appreciate you. Thank you. Keep bringing it on, because GGM Africa needs that to continue in this our push for a total liberation of African people, so that African children, descendants of Africa across the world, in the Caribbean, African Americans, in Europe, in Asia, suffering all manner of discrimination and racism, subjecting our people to all manner of inhuman treatment. When Africa is truly liberated, you will come back to your homeland. You will come back home and have a feel and a touch and a connection with nature. Because in Africa, nature still speaks. This is the last hope of humanity. This is, as the world is transforming itself to a robotic world, Africa still remains the virgin land, the Garden of Eden, that continues to yield the fruits that fed or feeds the entire world. Thank you very much, every one of you who are bringing it on. Chibueze Ananwa, thank you very much for that. God bless you. God bless every one of you bringing this on. God bless you. I appreciate you. God bless you. All right. We have more people coming in. Someone asked a very big question. He said, he's coming from Ligat. He said, who's next? Who's next? Who is next, my people? Who do you think will be the next? Which country will celebrate like Gabon today? Which country will celebrate next? Your answer will be as good as mine. You can be dropping it on the comment section while I'll be here reading it out. For them to hear, they are all watching, especially in Nigeria. Talking about old ancestors that continue to hold grip onto power, leading African nations, young generations, to nowhere except their grave. Men in their 90s, not just they are in their 90s, but full of wickedness. Not just they are in their 90s, but full of greed. A massive primitive wealth they don't need. I wonder when these guys will get some senses into them. The world powers, as they call them, the NATO forces, they are so good at imposing puppets as leaders in Africa. People of questionable character. If you have an indictment hanging over your neck, you are the best candidate to lead Africa. To them, that is just democracy. And they will do everything possible to make sure they put you in place. That was how we went through 8 agonizing years in Nigeria under Buhari APC. We know how it all went. We know who brought them in. US. But today we are dealing with France. Answer that question, my people. Who do you think will be next? Which country will celebrate their freedom? Just as you are seeing the Gabonese out there flying their flags in their numbers, in mass, celebrating their victory, celebrating their liberation from the oppressive class of political leaders. All right, let us quickly continue. Keep sharing this video. Keep subscribing. If you have not, hit on the subscription button. Keep sharing this video as we continue to bring you this message of liberation from GGM Africa. GGM, good governance. People are yearning for good governance. In a country that supplies uranium to France to power their electricity, their nuclear plants, their railways, yet that same country is living in abject poverty, under the shades of thick darkness. Enough is enough. We can't have crude oil like we have in Nigeria and in Gabon and other places and still import fuel and still import petroleum products from those who came to explore these resources and take it to their homeland. None of the refineries are working in Africa. They try to push it to the West and they'll come back and sell it to us at a very exorbitant price, exposing our natural resources to foreign or international market, making it very expensive for us. We get the very resources to suffer in penury. Enough of this. It can only be stopped through a ballot revolution, political revolution. Take a look at Gabon. You went into an election, you lost the election, you forcefully want to remain in power. Thank God, even the people, the soldiers are tired. They are tired, they are sick and tired of it. Who doesn't like freedom? So, somebody has already answered the question. He said, main said, Tinubu is next. Watch out, Nigerian soldiers will deal with him. To be honest with you, I don't think the Nigerian military is ready for any kind of coup. We are, Nigerian people are actually calming down and waiting for the judicial process to take its course. Nigerian people are really exhibiting a kind of restraint because the men they voted for that won the presidential election, the men that want to free Nigerians from the shackles of bad government, that will dismantle the structure of impunity and corruption by APC and PDP, told Nigerians to hold their peace because the court should be given the opportunity to redeem their image and protect and defend the Nigerian constitution as it is. So let us keep waiting. Time is running out of their hand. They are delaying it because they don't have any other option. They must deliver that judgment. It's a must. So Vince Pearl said, One Africa, I agree with you. David Olawale said, Nigeria need military rule that will lead to division, Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, Arewa nation, and the rest of them. That is coming from David Olawale. In as much as many will agree with you, as much I will agree with you. For the fact that Nigeria is a product of even colonial masters. If you go to the history of Nigeria, there is nothing like Nigeria before colonization. It was colonization that created Nigeria. And they continued to exhibit the characteristics of colonization. Oh, yes. So, we'll come to that next. What we're trying to say here is, irrespective of your colors, irrespective of your language, tongues, tribes in Africa, we must all unite for this purpose. It's a collective thing. This is not time to preach boundaries now. No. This is not time to say this one is Igbo, this one is Arewa, this one is Oduduwa, or this one is Ghanaiano, Nigeriano, Nigeriano, Gabonese, or whatever. No, this is not time. This is time for African people to unite together as a force. Celebrate what is happening in Gabon as we speak, so that it will start happening in your own country. Start celebrating it. That is what we are preaching. Energize your people. Tell them the need for them to be part of this revolution. Keep preaching it. It will happen in your country and you will be free. Trust me, you will be free. All right. Sherik said, we left Cameroon and East Africa. I don't know why you are leaving. Perhaps you are leaving because he said, God help Africans. We are tired of dictators in our continent. Well, Sheriff, goodbye. I must say, if you're tired of dictators that will go in and liberate the people from civilian dictators, what do you call dictators? People who impose themselves against the will of the people. That is what we call dictators. People who will change the constitution to suit them against the will and aspiration of the general people. That is dictatorship. The people who will kill, just like we had in Nigeria. All this while, from Niger to Gabon and all the, we've not had a bloody coup. We've not had that this president was killed or these politicians were killed and the military took over. No. But in Nigeria's so-called election that happened on 25th of February 2023, hundreds of people were killed. Thousands were injured. Hundreds of thousands were disenfranchised, threatened never to come out to vote, else they die. What do you call that, Mr. Sharif? Bye-bye. You can go. Safe journey. Leave Africa for us. We want our total freedom. We want to redefine our own kind of democracy, which is the government of the people. And that is what you are seeing right here. The people are celebrating. We have no apologies to that. So, Morgan say, free Africa now, and Africa must unite, defend Africa and all her lands and her people. Fight for the control of your land and her resources that God has given unto us. Stand up together, unite and fight for what is yours. No more colonizers, no more enslavers in our homeland. Thank you. That is coming from Morgan Johnson. God bless you. God bless you. We really, really appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much. We have so many people coming in from different borders. Yayo said, collapse the borders now. Collapse the borders now. I really agree with you. The borders need to be collapsed. That's what we're saying. Nigeria has to go. Indigo is saying this. The time is now. Either a coup or a complete breakup. The British company has to die. He is trying to refer to what I just said now about Nigeria being a British contraption. That is a colonial contraption, we know that. But what is happening in Nigeria today doesn't actually necessitate coup as we speak, because all eyes are on the judiciary. That is the last bus stop before what you see here will start happening in Nigeria. So, thank you very much, every one of you. Antonio is here. Forgive me, Antiono. Hey, Antione, forgive me. Yes, I say your name's very bad. But it's okay. Thank you. Koben Kum said, our real ancestors are back. Please, let's stand firm together. Let's stand firm together. Our Kubalans, our black ancestors are here with us right now. They see themselves through us. Nkum from Ghana. Thank you for that very submission. Nkum from Ghana, thank you a lot. Babo Liko said, Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. Thank God it is no longer Ghana must go. Ghana must go. All right. We have Arise and Shine Tinubu. I can't actually read that comment, but I think he's saying that it is time for Tinubu to go as well. He's agreeing with this the commentary. Okay. Yeah, he's agreeing with me. That is Morgan Johnson saying that it is the Garden of Eden. Of course, who doesn't know that Africa is the Garden of Eden? Just go and look at the description of Garden of Eden. Those of you who are conversant with your Bible or with your Quran, wherever it is mentioned, Africa is truly the Garden of Eden. Oh yes, you heard me right. Africa is the first race of the human world and existence. They may tell you otherwise, but that is the truth. The spirit of our ancestors are waking up, and they have entered us. And when you see some of us speak without fear, we have a backup, because we don't just speak for the people alive, we speak for our ancestors. And this message of freedom must transcend across every border and wake up the consciousness of the people. the sleeping giant of the world, to take their freedom once and for all. Okay? Somebody said, Reynald Mpono. Sorry, I'm butchering people's name here. We have so many African people coming together on this platform, on this program, GGM Africa. Spread the GGM Africa in your continents, in your countries, within the continent, and let the message continue. If you want to be part of this program, after this program, you can call +2 34 810 4545 533 +2 34 810 4545 533 to be part of this platform, GGM Africa. GGM Africa is just for the spread of this message, this revolutionary message across Africa, for the brief freedom, the true freedom of the people to happen, just like we're seeing happening in Gabon as we speak. So, when you talk about Cameroon, why wouldn't it be Cameroon, my people? Tell me one reason why it will not be Cameroon. Just one reason. I want one reason why it will not be Cameroon. When you have Paul Biya. Since I was born, now I am getting old. The only name I have had leading Cameroon is Paul Biya. Go to Cameroon and see how the country is being ripped apart with poverty and hunger. Just go to Cameroon. House, one man is holding the entire people to ransom. I believe people are waking up. The spirit of our ancestors is entering people, possessing them to wake up the rest of everyone. I'm doing my own bit. I am not a soldier, but I am the one carrying that voice. Like some of us also around Africa, speaking through our platforms to wake up the people to do the right thing, to take their countries back. So there is every reason to say Cameroon should go next. How can you have your ancestors as your president? Somebody that can merely walk or stand on his foot. How can he carry the burden of millions of people? Come on. It should be the end. Revolution, victory. Thank you very much, Son Temple. Arise and Shine said it is Biya that should be the next. Israel said no, it is Nigeria that will be the next. Nigeria and Cameroon is competing because we have almost two kind of situation. In the name of presidents, somebody who we don't even know his real age. We don't even know his real name. His academic record, we are still questioning it. We don't even know where he is from in Nigeria, whether he's from Lagos or from Osun State. This is the kind of person that has imposed himself, saying it was his turn or it is his turn to rule over Nigerians by fire, by force. Sorry, wrong timing, because the spirit of our ancestors have really woken up the sleeping giants. I'll be wrapping up any moment from now. The messages are coming. They don't plenty too much. But I must tell you, whoever that joins this program, thank you for joining. Keep participating on all of our programs. Keep watching all of our video updates. This is a home for truth. And the truth, raw, unadulterated truth that will set Africans free once and for all. I am Asunchere Peters, the Archbishop, GGM. GGM is not a church. It's not a religious gathering. It is a political revolutionary ministry to wake up the people to take their lives back from the oppression of the devil. Devils around corridors of power. Stop casting and binding unseen devils. I think it is time for us to target our casting and binding. Cast it out from government house. Those corrupt politicians who have held you to ransom, who had made your life miserable, a living hell. These are the demons we need to cast out of corridors of power. And that is what GGM, Good Governance Ministry, is committed to do. And I'm anointed to preach this message of salvation to African people. Thank you very much, every one of you who have joined. He said Angola will be on the way as well. Coming from Yo Z. Amaki Hejrika, we thank you for coming. John OK. Many of you are coming. Idowu Abako Agbebaku. Nigeria, get ready for freedom from stupid old politicians. So, I think we are wrapping it up. A lot of comments are coming in. We will continue on the comment section later. But meanwhile, let me go back quickly to our discussants. They have been waiting patiently to be part of the program. Please unmute yourself and speak to our audience. The number that ends with 653. I'm not talking to NWC, I'm talking to the other number. Please unmute yourself. If you're hearing me and want to make your submission, please do that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please, your name so that our audience will hear you.
Yeah, Emeko Zibo speaking.
Emeko Zibo, it's been a long time.
Yes. You see, I see. Do you know what makes a country to start moving forward?
Go on.
When most of their citizens are telling themselves truth. Black man, most especially Nigerians, has moved away from what they were into what they are not. You see, yesterday, our fathers did not know what all these Christian religion was. Okay? They were worshiping God through their own way. The traditional way of worshiping God, Bible and Jesus said is bad. It is we, the black, that cancelled it. Understand me? So we are the problem of ourselves. We started creating problems for ourselves for ourselves. Understand me? You see, if not, why will a governor, local government come and president, after swearing and moving into office, you can't feel dample with the state or the local government money, something will happen to him. But we moved away from where we are created, what God has imbibed into us, to the white man way of life. That is the more problem why we are suffering. We don't feel suffering. Look at the Asians. Are they Christians? Are they Muslims? But they're moving. So we need total reorientation. Look at our children. What percentage of parents who have impact moral to their children? This is not prayer. If I want to call you now, I did not. If I want to make a call, I do not have a phone. I did not go to borrow phone. I did not go to business center to call you. I lock myself in a room and keep on praying and fasting. I will stay in that room and die. I will never call. God will not tell me to call you. God has programmed us for us to do our own, to do what is right for us to do. What He has programmed for us to do. Don't fold our hands and keep on looking up to God for God to do what. Is it God that developed United Arab Emirates? Is it God that made United Arab Emirates what it is today? They came to Nigeria. Was it in the 70s or 80s to borrow money? Then our president then asked them, how would they be able to pay? Look at where they are. Look at Rwanda. Was it prayer? Is it prayer that is making Rwanda to move forward where they are moving today? It's terrible. We need total reorientation. If not, we are deceiving ourselves with prayer. Prayer is good. Very good. But
I agree with you. Prayer is good. But prayer without work is useless.
I know it's good.
Prayer without work is useless, complete useless.
You go in Nigeria, if Obi becomes president, but it will surely happen. Whom do prayer for their senators? Federal House of Rep members, local government chairman and council, whom do prayer for Nigerian voted? It's terrible. If we have voted for good senators and Federal House of Reps, you know that the president by now would have been free. You know that? So we are the problem of ourselves. We need to start to change. That is when we start getting it right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ndubisi, let us quickly go around before we wrap it up on this program. Ndubisi, you can unmute yourself and speak to us. With respect to what is happening in Nigeria now, do you liken it with what is happening in Gabon following the election that just happened? And do you think that Nigeria, some people are calling for military takeover? Do you think it is necessary?
Yeah, thank you, Chinedu, for the message of good governance. GGM Africa, liberation of the mind is key.
Yeah.
Orientation of people, sensitization for people to know their right from their left is key. And I thank God for the anointing you have gotten to push the message across Africa, not just in home, in Biafra land, in Igbo land, or Nigeria, but across the border. The message is penetrated, the message of freedom. Chinedu, I want to assure you that what we all have started as GGM will overgrow us and overtake us. Because our children grow up to take this message to the next level and next house. Having said that, I want to also reaffirm that the major issue we have in Africa, perhaps in Nigeria, our religious system, we worship God, the way we believe, the way we claim to be born again, the way we import foreign religion without even practicing what we have taught. That is, we have ended up copying the wrong side. The reason one. The second thing is our education system. Our education system has made us slaves to foreign power. What we were taught is how to be good students, how to be slaves, how to copy, and how to cram. We copy Pythagoras theory. All those theorems we are putting are people or were people's name in developed economy. We are yet to develop our own indigenous solution to solve our problems. Africa, like you said, is still a virgin land. A virgin, like a virgin young lady. Nobody has touched it. So with education system is still our problem. The other one is our financial system. I have worked in the bank for several years. I left out of anger. And the obvious reason being that banks in Nigeria is deposit banks. Banks are not there or set up to assist to develop ideas. Banks can never assist you develop ideas. Bank can never assist you build from scratch. But banks can only come when you have succeeded. That is why so many of us die with ideas, our ideas. And that is why so many good and revolutionary academics or professors are poor in Nigeria. They die with their ideas out of frustration. So our financial system is designed to keep us, or perhaps weaponize us, to make us stooges and praise singers to the power to be. These are our major problems. Then to address your question as per what is happening across Africa, whether the Nigerian situation is different. Of course, like Cameroon, where you have a president, Paul Biya, he has been in for 42 years. The same thing with this man that was removed. The father has been there since 1967. After father, Chinedu, what we have in Nigeria is almost the same thing with all these African countries. But
Because it is still the
transformed.
same. It is still the same set of people recycling themselves from one office to the other.
Yes, transformed into another form.
Mm.
They pretend to be Democrats, but these guys are so wicked and so heartless.
The political Maradonas moving from minister to governor, from governor to senate, from senate to ambassador.
These guys are the same thing.
Of course.
That was why when people came out to contest, they were all laughing at him, or laughing on him, laughing that even our Professor Soludo here said that P2B as a person knew that he would not win. The man was so confident, he was so certain with every sense of certainty that P2B knew that he would not win. Because he's an elite. He understands the politics of Nigeria. He understands that people are poor. There is no job any place. Once they are in government, great fingers will be everywhere. Nobody can withstand you. So some of us talking on social media, they will look at us or us noisemakers. If you talk finish, you cannot influence anybody. So they so much believe in the power they have, but they have forgotten that the power of the people is bigger than those very few in government.
Okay.
So what I'm saying in effect is that the situation in African countries, across African countries, it is the madness and impunity we have in Nigeria. Because those wicked politicians we have at home, they have refused to learn. They recycle themselves. Go to burial ceremonies. You see them gathering. They all gather, they are laughing among themselves because they know they have destroyed the institutions people who used to fight them. I've just mentioned 3 institutions. I mentioned our education system, the job market, the financial system, judiciary, all these institutions are in their pocket. So they know that the masses will not do anything.
Including religious,
in Nigeria, even the
military. Let me interrupt you there. Including religious institutions. That one,
yes, is in their pocket.
All right, let me quickly take another call. Hang on. Let me quickly take this call. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Chino So Obi. I'm coming from Ghana.
Okay, go ahead. What's your reaction to what is happening in Africa?
To thank you very much. Yes, first of all, I want to thank you so much for the good work you have been doing. I have been following you for over 2 years now.
Wow.
And I'm very, very grateful of the hard work you have been putting on. Also sensibilizing our people in making sure that our people are updated in what is happening both in our house and outside our house. Thank you so much. Keep it on.
Thank you.
Also, I want to also say that what is happening in Africa is as a result of civilian coup that has been going on all over the Africa. You know, one thing that people don't understand is this, that the civilian coup we are experiencing in Africa is even more dangerous than the military coup. Because the civilian coup is like holding the whole country hostage. But the military coup is like just a selective of some political class and holding them hostage. So if you watch it, the blood, okay, take the Niger coup. How many blood was shed during the coup? None. Then check during the last February 25th general election, Nigerian general election. How many blood was shed during that election?
They
So
shed a
if
lot of
they say you
blood.
should
A
just
lot of
choose,
people were
you
killed. Mm.
yeah. Then if you say you should just choose, which one will you choose? You will choose the one that have lesser violence. You call that one military coup. Yet there is no blood that was shed. The country we are happy, just like what is happening at Gabon today. You can see that is purely the revenge of going through because of the civilian coup that has been holding Africa down for many years. Because if you understand, if you step out from your house today, just look around. What you will see is the effect of the civilian coup that every country in Africa has been participating in. Because what Africa has been experiencing is not election, it has been a coup, a broad day robbery. And they will call it election. Yes, the West will blind their eyes and saying they are promoting democracy. This one is not promoting democracy. They are already destroying what they are saying they want to promote even before it started. Because you can't tell me that you want to elect a democratic president, yet before then you have already destroyed the seat even from the process. So automatically it's a totally coup. So even me personally, I will say I supported even if it will. This is how the revolution I'm praying for is going to start. If it will eventually start, and I'm praying let it be right one. Let them know by, because you know what the West will always do, that they will use the gullible mind of us, which is Africa, also to destroy what we are trying to build. When maybe somebody that that want to do something for his people rise, they will find a way or one thing or the other to use one of his brother also to destroy him. My prayer is that if this will be a way at least to bring Africa back to the original track, to bring them back to real Africa they are, and develop Africa. May God never allow them to put an infestator that will come and destroy what they are trying to build. And may we wake up. Just there is also a warning call to Nigerian judiciary for them to understand that they may do and say they have done their own. They don't know the other part. You know this one, you don't know the other one. It's better we do it right now and avoid unnecessary unknowingly. Let us do the right thing now. I'm calling also using this medium to call our president, to call the judiciary, to call every other countries in Africa. Let them start now to begin to do the right thing.
Exactly.
Because tomorrow may be too late for them.
Exactly.
Tomorrow may be too late for them.
Thank you.
It's a waking call I'm calling. Let them begin to do the right thing now, still from this moment, because they don't know what will come to them tomorrow. Thank you so much for this opportunity, wonderful opportunity. I'm very, very happy to be in your platform today.
Thank you. That is what we are doing here, to give the people a voice. Thank you very much for calling. From Ghana, that is the call that came in from one of our followers, ardent follower. Continue spreading the message of GGM, Good Governance Ministry, across, so that together we will have our freedom. I'm back again, and let us quickly wrap it up. Ndubisi, you will be ending your submission after our brother has spoken. Just wrap it up on your own submission with respect to what had happened so far. What is your admonition, especially as it affects Nigeria?
Okay, Chile, let me conclude by saying I was about saying that the whole institutions of government is in their pocket, including military, soldiers, because they have the power to appoint brigadier general or DOC or DOC. It is their friends that they will appoint to those positions. And they have all the money in the world to corrupt our soldiers. So because they believe the whole institution in their pocket, they don't care. Those guys they are not as afraid of anybody. So as per what is happening, whether I want army to take over in Nigeria, no. I want ballot revolution. Let us continue to fight as civilians. Let us continue to use our vote. Even though some people will say vote doesn't count, but it's a lie. The fact that we've tried it once will not stop us from trying it the second time.
Ndubisi, just a quick one wait, before you continue and end immediately. When you talk about military intervening, just like what happened in Gabon, we saw that the military actually came out to annul the election, seeing the flaws, seeing that in fact they didn't even allow the court or the people to go to court, just like we had in Nigeria. They would say go to court, knowing fully well that all those institutions are well corrupted. But this time there is a twist of the entire game, and all eyes on the judiciary happen to be the last shot. So will you say that all eyes on the judiciary is the last shot, and afterwards, if they insist in doing the corruption they are known for, what do you expect Nigerians to do? Should they just fold their arms and accept the situation, or hit the street and take their country back?
The hope of common man is the common man, not the judiciary.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the common man, it will be done on common man that judiciary has compromised.
All right.
Then common man will take the laws into their hands. It has happened elsewhere in African countries where the common people, of course, Jonathan said it.
Of course.
I saw the video you published. Jonathan said it.
Mm-hmm.
The common people will go to Aso Rock
and pursue every one of them out.
Whoever that is there.
And
if
when you see Nigeria is over 200 million, when you see even 10 million people marching towards you, I wonder the kind of ammunition you will release to kill every one of them, including your own, your fathers, brothers, and sisters. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that is it.
We should not depend on the army, because the army are corrupt too.
All right, thank you very much. That is it. And my brother, please give us your own closing remark so that we wrap it up, because we have far spent the time.
Yeah, Chinedu, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Chinedu. Yeah, we need to start from any base here, okay? And vote rightly from our council to our president. We need to start from any base. We have start voting rightly from our councillor to our president. That is what we have to. That is how we make a better country. But as for this presidential election, I know it will be upturned. We need to start voting credible candidates, not people that have given us money. That is how to tell Nigeria, to make Nigeria great again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining on the program. God bless you. And to our viewers out there, every one of you that had watched and followed this live update of what is happening in Gabon, I will keep you updated on this platform. Stick on this channel, click on the subscription button, share, drop your comment. Let's bring ourselves together as we continue on this message of freedom through GGM Africa. Good governance in Africa is what we need now for Africans to emancipate and take its rightful place and take its lost glory and shine forth as the last hope of humanity. I still remain Absolute Chinedu Peters, the Archbishop of GGM, saying, may God bless you all. Keep the faith alive. Do not give up. Africans, gather yourself together. Your time has come. And GGM Africa is always here to preach the message of freedom, the message of truth that will liberate Africans from the shackles of wicked and oppressive political class. Viva Africa. Freedom for Africa. Bye-bye for now.